The first things I did, like when my mom first bought me a piano, I would just kind of make up songs on the keys, but because I didn't know how to like write down what I was making, I would actually take little pieces of tape and put them on the keys to like remember what I made. So I remember doing that more than I remember like what the first song I played on piano was. When I was growing up, there were times when, when you're like a young kid and you have to practice for your piano lessons, sometimes you don't always want to practice and you'd rather go like play with your friends in the street. And so I feel like there were a lot of times where like, my mom and I would both like threaten each other like, I'm gonna stop your lessons, I'm gonna quit, but it never actually went through because I always like found my way back to the piano. So even if I took breaks, I've never really been able to stay away from it. When I initially wrote Don't Trust Mirrors, the way that I like to use preparations is I like using like metallic screws. So I like to still hear the actual like harmonic information of the note. Like I like to hear the C coming through when I play a C on the piano that's prepared. So I like to have some of the tone, but then just like a little extra something with it. There's a John Cage piece called The Perilous Night, where he wants you to insert like a really big piece of rubber that's like an eraser you would use to erase like a pencil or something. And when you put it inside the piano, it like completely like mutes the sound of the string and makes it sound like it's a percussive sound rather than a tone. But I've seen other pianists use really strange preparations, like this pianist Margaret Langtan, who I've worked with. She was actually John Cage's muse, and one time I saw her do a concert where she had a hairbrush. She was playing the inside of the piano with a hairbrush. So there's all sorts of weird things that I've seen people do. There's one moment that really stands out to me in 2019 when I was at End of the Road Festival, and I was watching Kelly Owens, her dance on stage and seeing how the audience was also dancing. And I just had the thought, like, it would be really fun to do a show where I'm being more physical and the audience is also able to move to my music, because most of the time, I'm just sitting at a piano and the audience is just sitting listening to me. So I had the idea to try to make an album that was a little bit more upbeat. And I kind of half accomplished it, but I think that half of it is still pretty reflective and introspective and mellow. So I think there's a balance between the two worlds that I've achieved. Oh, like in my whole life? Yeah. The cheesiest cover I've ever played? Oh, wow. Okay, wait, let me think about that for a second, because I've done a lot. I used to play piano for dance classes, so I would sometimes take a pop song and make it into a waltz or something, but the cheesiest song I've ever covered, maybe... I'm sorry, I have no idea. I have no idea.